You're worried about the size of your package. We'll tell you if it really matters to women. It's not the size of the ship or the motion in the ocean. It has to do something with the captain, if he knows how to dock the ship long enough for all the passengers to get off. And that is our quote of the day. One of the most controversial questions women get is size or performance. According to a survey of women asked, does size matter? 9% of women voted it matters. 15% voted technique is more important. 70% voted a balance between size and skills is best, while the remaining 6% haven't made up their minds yet. But is this really important? Does the size really impact the pleasure level of a woman? Is it true that the higher its number, the higher rating you'd get from your lover? In general, numbers are values used to define the beauty of things or how pleasing it is. For example, a woman's waist is considered attractive if it's on the smaller size. The size of a bust also adds to the overall attractiveness of a woman. But one of the measured parts of a man is his shoulder, his height, and his member. A man's shoulder is considered to be sexy if it's broad. It is also backed by multiple studies that women are attracted to men with muscular shoulders. Maybe because it gives out that strong protective exterior. Perhaps because they're indicative of their status and potential to become a father. It is their external design that gives out the patriarchal role in the world. The same goes for height. Men are expected to be taller than women. Men who are shorter than women are given weird looks by some people. One of the big factors that contribute to this point of view is the societal expectations for men. Stereotypes became standards, especially down there. There's a cultural perception that bigger absolutely feels better, but is that actually always the case? Our societal opinions about the member size probably originated even before you have done the deed. Most of us learn about intimacy from the media and mainstream porn, which develops a bias towards men who are on the larger side. It starts during teenage puberty when adolescents develop curiosity due to their bodily changes. They start to watch porn and later assume that large joysticks are the norm, and anything outside the norm is unacceptable and undesirable. But according to a study on women and their perception of the size of a member, that's all a myth. Most of you are relieved to know that, yes, women are not focused on the size as you thought they are. It's the culture that adds up to this certain idea. There are some women who love how bigger members feel in their bodies. Pleasure isn't a size fits all. Given that no two bodies are identical, some members may feel better than a woman with a certain preference. Overall, maybe it's a cultural myth we keep repeating over and over so much it sorts of becomes true. On the other hand, the size of the member is an influential factor. The pleasure increases for each centimeter gained. From this threshold, women always judge men with long members better, but the impact then becomes much less significant, kind of like a threshold effect. Maybe the doubt about the size of your package is due to a more serious problem. If you want to know for sure, take our short quiz in the description and you'll have the answer in less than 5 minutes. Given the variety of sizes, is there an ideal universal size? Just like how men prefer women with body stats like 90-60-90, it is fair that women, on the other hand, have their ideal masculine size. Say for example, in Leonardo da Vinci's sketch of the Vitruvian Man, a man's body is in symmetrical proportions. So, it's easy to assume that a tall, broad man would also have a big member. Distorted perceptions of the ideal penis size, along with unrealistic standards set by porn, have lured women into believing that there is an ideal size that matters. However, the size of the penis depends on a variety of factors like the country of origin, the height of a person, genes, etc., which is why what is considered ideal in America might not be ideal in Asia. Size is deeply tied to the pleasure a person can give during intimacy, but that is not the case most of the time. There still are a variety of factors that contribute to the satisfaction of both parties. The size is just a factor. One should consider checking for connections in the getting to know stage, and you can start from there. Most women focus on how good you can please them, how you stimulate every erogenous zone. They appreciate it more when you focus on making them feel good. Your manhood isn't the only focus here. So instead of looking for ways how to make your member bigger, why not research more tips and techniques on how to please her better? It won't cost you much. Unlike going for trial and error on different pills, you might cost yourself more if it didn't work and turned out for the worst. Did you know that in ancient Greek, small members are a thing? They take pride in small manhood, which explains why sculptures you've probably seen in museums or online have small ones. Despite their muscular and tall build, the opposite goes on their manhood, which in fact represents self-control. That is why Greek gods and heroes have small ones. Self-control back in the day is an honorable trait. Big members, on the other hand, are often looked down on because it represents recklessness. Satyrs and barbarians are known to have big members due to their characters. Now that you know this, it's high time to appreciate not so big members because of this fact. Mind you, not everyone loves a big member. There is also such a thing as someone being too big. Sometimes big ones cause discomfort more than pleasure, and that ruins the whole thing. You are supposed to enjoy the pleasure. You should make her cry from too many sensations, not from pain. It should be so good she could see the stars in her zenith, not to make her dissipate in a black hole of pain. There is so much more to sex that lies beyond the physical appearance of your genitals. That isn't exactly where all the pleasure is coming from. When seeking out a lover, consider looking for someone who makes you feel good, someone who is receptive and attentive, and also someone who isn't just focused on receiving pleasure, but who is also willing to give them in return. Intimacy is a two-way street. It is a great experience, especially when both parties' needs are met. So instead of wondering how big they might be, wonder just how freaky they are. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leaving you with our intro quote, "It's not the size of the ship or the motion in the ocean. It has to do something with the captain if he knows how to dock the ship long enough for all the passengers to get off."